Hey guys, it's Madison, and today I've got kind of a different kind of video. It's more of like a rant video, I guess, putting my opinions on things out there, just because I've seen some stuff that's kind of annoyed me recently and I feel like talking about it. I want to talk about getting noticed, particularly on Twitter, by famous people. And obviously, if any of you guys follow me on Twitter, you see that I constantly tweet about YouTubers, tweeting at YouTubers to try and get noticed. And I've just seen some of the negative sides of that recently. And I just want to put it out there that famous people don't exist for you to get noticed by them. You know, whether it's someone in a band, an author, a YouTuber, an actor, they are just doing their thing because it's what they want to do in life. And they don't really owe anything to anyone. As much as that sucks to realize, just because one person is active on Twitter that is a friend of this other person doesn't mean that this other person has to always be active on Twitter, and vice versa. Or if someone's been active on Twitter and they haven't been for a while, that doesn't mean that they have to suddenly be active on Twitter again. Let them live their lives and respond to what they want to respond to and be active when they want to be active. They're just people. Like you and me. They're just people who are using social media to have fun like we are. And begging for notices and begging for people to be active and constantly getting upset when they're not active or when they don't reply to you or like a tweet, it just takes the fun out of it. I'm gonna speak from personal experience here. Obviously, my Twitter account is very YouTube centric, and you know, I'll get a lot of likes and a lot of replies from Grubigly or Brian because I'm just active in the community. I go to his streams a lot. He recognizes my Twitter handle and he'll see me and he'll reply to me because he knows that, you know, I get his humor. He can send a sarcastic response to me and I'm not gonna get super upset about it. So it happens and I don't control that. I never expected it to happen. I still just tweet as I normally would tweet to any other person that I follow on Twitter. That is kind of, you know, obviously not in the same way that I'd tweet my friends, but, you know, in the same way that I might tweet at Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Crank Gameplays. Like, I'm not having the objective to get noticed. I'm just trying to be funny or be nice in an attempt to make them smile, I guess, if they do end up seeing any tweet of mine. To the fact that I've been lucky enough to interact with Brian as much as I have been, it was never my goal, but it happened, and I'm extremely grateful that it happened. But then I see all these people like in the streams who are like, oh my god, you missed my message, what the heck, like, or who will repost it 5 times in 3 minutes in the attempt to get him to read it, begging for a notice. Like, that's not a good thing to do, because all it does is paint you as an annoying little shit who literally only cares about getting their message read out loud. Or, you know, if you spam the same tweet to them a million times, all you want them to do is read it. You don't really care about the actual content of the message. Like, that's what you're sending to that person, is this hidden message that all you care about is them seeing it. You don't actually care necessarily about them seeing what's in the message as long as they see the message. And that doesn't make you look good to anyone, not to any random people who see your tweet, not to your followers, not to these people that you're tweeting at. It sucks. You know, and then when people don't get noticed, when their tweet doesn't get liked, when they don't get a reply from someone, when their comments on YouTube aren't answered, when their message isn't read out loud in a stream, people get genuinely angry and upset. And again, it makes no sense, because that person probably, you know, if they're famous enough for people to care that much, they're obviously famous enough that they get tons and tons of replies and mentions and comments and, you know, messages and streams that they can't get to them all. They physically aren't able to. So they do what they can, and they might reply to what they think is funny, or, you know, they might reply to one person asking the same question as 500 people. They're not going to reply to all 500 questions. They're going to maybe pick the first one they saw just at random and reply to that one and hope everyone else sees it. And that's just how the world works, you know? You know, there are always going to be those fans who end up getting remembered by their favorites. Like, I somehow have become one of those people to Brian that he recognizes. And, you know, of course that makes you a bit more likely to get a response from someone, because that's just how our brain works. If we see something that's familiar to us, we're more likely to respond, you know, to that thing, whatever it is. So if you have a familiar username to whoever you're, you know, trying to interact with, you know, they know that, like, oh, this is a cool person who's not gonna, like, be weird about anything. Like, I can respond to them. They're cool. And it sucks being someone who's watching this happen. Like, you know, there are multiple usernames that are coming to my mind right now off of Twitter who, like, constantly get replies from Jacksepticeye or constantly get replies from Crank Gameplays. And sometimes it's like, wow, I really wish I could be like that to someone. Or, you know, even I know for a fact that people think that about me because I get responses from Brian, and I don't want to take any of it for granted, because I know there are people who would kill to have as many notices from Brian as me. Like, God, I don't know how to word what I'm trying to say. There's a difference between feeling a little twang of jealousy, because, of course, everyone wants to know that their favorite person knows they exist. It's the best feeling in the world. Like, I remember the very first time Brian ever liked a tweet of mine, or Ethan ever liked a tweet of mine, or G ever liked a tweet of mine. Like, I felt like I was on top of the world. I was on cloud 9. It made me so incredibly happy for like a week. So, like, I get it. You just want that happiness. You want to know that they know you exist, and it's such a good feeling. So, you know, it's okay to feel jealous every now and again, because I still do. You know, there are people who talk to Brian way more than I do. There are people who constantly get these notices from bigger YouTubers, or, like, you know, authors or musicians. Like, have their favorite musicians follow them on Twitter. And it's totally okay to feel jealous about that every once in a while, because jealousy is a natural, like, reaction that someone might have. And a lot of times, that initial little twang of jealousy is something that you can't control. So just don't be a bitch about it, basically. If you're feeling jealous, you know, sending something out there that's like, aw, I kind of wish such and such would happen, like, but it's whatever, versus like, wow, this person hates me, they won't even like my tweet, you know, they probably have me muted, I'm never gonna get noticed, blah blah blah, life is crap, I hate myself. Like, constantly tweeting shit like that every single time that someone goes on a reply spree, for instance, and you don't get a reply from them. That just makes you look like a fucking bitch. And it's not okay. It's not okay. Because, you know, if your favorite person were ever to see something like that, it's just gonna make you less likely to get noticed. You know, these communities that are built around people, these fandoms, I guess you could call them, they're groups of people who bond over common interests, who are supposed to support each other. That's what these communities are all about, is supporting other people. You know, so when I got a reply from Crank Gameplays, all of my mentions were just people screaming my name, like, holy shit, I'm so happy for you, you finally got a reply. And it just, that was almost even cooler than the initial, like, fact that I got noticed by Ethan, because all my friends were so genuinely happy that I was happy. it just made the whole thing so much better. When my really shitty art got put on a Markiplier charity live stream, I didn't even notice because I was only half watching, and then all of a sudden my timeline was just, holy shit, Madison. And all my mentions were like, are you not fucking seeing this? They just put your art on the live stream. The fact that people were so happy to see my thing get up there, like the people who knew me were happy that I got noticed. Like, that's how this community is meant to be. When something good happens to someone else, we are happy for them, we support them, we, you know, it's supposed to be just a big happy family, supporting each other and not tearing each other down over jealousy and wallowing in self-pity. Like, don't ask for pity over the fact that someone didn't like your tweet. Be happy for the people who are getting this, because you bringing a sour mood to the whole thing just kind of ruins it for everyone else. And your day will come where you finally get that notice that you've been wanting, or you finally get to meet the person and they're gonna know that you exist. And even if they don't know that you as an individual exist, that doesn't mean that they appreciate you any less. That doesn't mean that they love you any less. That doesn't mean that you're worth any less to them or to this community. And you acting like it does nothing but bring everyone else down. I just wish it would stop, basically. Ugh, that was a really, really long, rambly pile of shit. I really hope I got my point across without sounding too much of like a bitch. Like I said before, I get jealous. I can't help it. Nobody can really help feeling jealous from time to time and feeling down about it from time to time. But sharing it publicly every single time something like that happens is just not cool. And it really needs to stop, because I hate seeing it, and I know plenty of other people who hate seeing it. And I'm sure there are tons of people out there who I don't know that hate seeing it, and it sucks. And it just shouldn't be a thing that happens. Leave a comment down below how you feel about this kind of thing. Just as long as it stays like a civil discussion down there, I don't care. I would love to, discuss this with people, I guess. Because I've noticed it's gotten to be a big problem in a lot of the bigger communities out there. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that out there and kind of get my thoughts out there to kind of release my own inner anger about the subject. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. If you liked it, leave a like, all that fun stuff. Thanks for putting up with my dumb face and listening to me ramble for so long. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!